Most people work hard for money and still feel stuck. They earn, spend, worry, and repeat the same pattern every month. But there is another way to think about money, and it starts with assets. The rich do not only focus on working more hours. They focus on building things that keep bringing value long after the work is done. That changes everything. In this audiobook, you will learn how to think in a smarter way about money, growth, and long-term success. You will see how discipline, patience, knowledge, and clear choices can help you build a stronger financial life step by step. This is not about quick tricks or empty promises. It is about real habits that can help you grow with less stress and more control. You will hear simple lessons that can help you improve your money decisions, protect what you build, and create more than one source of income. You will also learn why the right mindset matters just as much as the right action. Stay with this audiobook until the end, because each chapter is designed to help you think better, act better, and move closer to the kind of life you want. Chapter 1: Master the art of building assets that generate income. Most people think wealth begins with a big salary or a lucky break. It does not. Wealth begins with ownership, patience, and the habit of building things that keep working after your effort has already been spent. That is the real idea behind assets. An asset is anything that puts money into your life instead of pulling money out of it. It may be a skill that helps you earn more, a piece of property that brings rent, a business that pays even when you are not present, or a system that keeps producing value over time. The rich understand this deeply. They do not only work for money, they build things that work for them. That difference changes everything. A person who only earns from labor is always trading time for income. The moment they stop working, the income slows down. But a person who learns how to build assets creates a stronger path. At first, the effort may be heavier. The reward may be delayed. It may feel slow in the beginning. Yet with discipline and patience, the results begin to stack. A small seed becomes a tree. A simple habit becomes a strong financial base. A quiet decision made daily becomes freedom years later. That is how real progress is made. Not through noise, not through impulse, through repeated action with a clear purpose. The first lesson is simple. Stop asking only how much you can earn this month and start asking what can keep earning after this month ends. That question shifts your mind from survival to creation. It forces you to think like a builder instead of a spender. A builder sees value in what can grow. A builder is not impressed by quick money if it disappears quickly too. A builder wants something solid, something useful, something that survives delay and brings return over time. That mindset matters because money alone does not create security. Systems create security. Ownership creates security. Assets create security. Many people stay trapped because they never learn the difference between income and wealth. Income is what enters your hands. Wealth is what remains after your hands are empty. Income can be high and still leave a person broke if they spend every bit of it. Wealth can be modest and still grow strong if it is protected and used wisely. That is why some people look successful and still feel unstable, while others live quietly and continue to gain strength year after year. The second group understands assets. They understand that financial peace comes from having things that continue to serve them. Building assets begins with discipline. There is no way around that. You cannot build a strong financial future with weak daily habits. If money comes in and disappears on things that do not grow, then money has no chance to become an ally. Each decision matters. Every purchase either supports your future or weakens it. Every hour either moves you closer to ownership or keeps you dependent. This is where self-control becomes powerful, not because self-control is exciting, but because it is effective. A disciplined person can delay comfort for a better result. A disciplined person can keep going when the reward is not immediate. A disciplined person can choose growth over impulse. That is how assets are built. Start with the assets that are closest to you. Your mind is an asset. Your knowledge is an asset. Your skills are assets. These may not look like wealth at first, but they are often the starting point of every real fortune. A person who learns to solve problems becomes valuable. A person who becomes valuable becomes paid. A person who gets paid can save. A person who saves can invest. A person who invests can build. That is the path. It is not magical. It is not secret. It is a process of becoming more useful, more reliable, and more skilled with time. Many people wait for the perfect moment to start. That moment rarely arrives. Life keeps moving. Bills keep coming. Time keeps passing. So the wise person starts where they are. They learn one practical skill that others need. They improve one area that increases their value. They read. They practice. They build. They repeat. A stronger future is rarely born from one bold move. It is usually formed by many quiet moves that no one claps for at first. That is why this path requires patience. It asks you to stay committed long after excitement fades. It asks you to trust the process when the results are still small. One of the best ways to build assets is to create something that can serve many people at once. A service can be useful. A product can be useful. A piece of content can be useful. A tool can be useful. The more people it helps, the more value it can create. A single effort can then reach beyond the time you spent on it. Think about a book, a video, a course, a design, a program, a repair system, or a simple digital product. Once it is built well, it can continue working. That does not mean it builds itself. It means your effort can keep producing after the first job is done. This is one of the greatest shifts a person can make. Instead of always selling only hours, they begin creating things that keep serving. Still, building assets is not only about business or investments. It is also about how you live. A person who manages money wisely builds an asset in the form of stability. A person who keeps good relationships builds an asset in the form of trust. A person who protects health builds an asset in the form of energy and endurance. A person who develops discipline builds an asset in the form of character. These things matter because they support everything else. Without health, you lose strength. Without trust, you lose cooperation. Without discipline, you lose direction. Without character, success becomes unstable. Real wealth is bigger than numbers. Real wealth includes the strength to keep building. If you want to become the kind of person who builds income, producing assets, you must first become honest about waste. Waste is one of the biggest enemies of growth. Tiny waste, energy waste, attention waste. It all matters. A person may not be poor because they lack opportunity. They may be poor because they leak value through careless habits. Small leaks become large losses. Unclear spending, undirected time, and constant distraction can drain the future before it has a chance to grow. This is why awareness is so important. Watch where your resources go. Watch where your focus goes. Watch what you keep doing without thinking. What you repeat shapes your life. A serious builder asks practical questions. What do I own that creates value? What can I create that helps people? What can I learn that increases my earning power? What expenses can I reduce so I can free more money for growth? What can I do daily that compounds over time? These are strong questions because they lead to action. They do not just make a person feel informed. They help a person move. Movement matters. The future changes when behavior changes. There is also great power in starting small. Many people delay progress because they think assets must begin large. That is a mistake. A small asset that grows is better than a large dream that remains unfinished. A simple savings habit can grow into an emergency fund. A side skill can grow into a freelance income stream. A modest investment can grow into a portfolio. A small online audience can grow into a platform. A little rental income can grow into a business. The point is not size at the beginning. The point is direction. Growth matters more than appearance. A strong tree once began as a seed no one noticed. The rich often understand compounding better than others. Compounding is the quiet force that rewards consistency. When you keep adding value and keep protecting what you have built, the results begin to multiply. A little saved today can become more useful later. A skill learned now can open doors later. A piece of content created today can keep bringing attention later. A disciplined habit repeated daily can become a lifestyle later. Compounding does not demand perfection. It demands repetition. It rewards those who keep showing up. It punishes those who stop too soon. This is why emotion must not lead your money decisions. Feelings rise and fall. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel tired. Some days you want to grow. Some days you want comfort. If your financial life follows every feeling, it will remain unstable. A stoic mind chooses principle over mood. It understands that what is easy now may not be wise later. It knows that discomfort is sometimes a sign of growth, not danger. It knows that patience is not weakness. Patience is control. Patience is strength that refuses panic. Patience is one of the greatest tools a person can carry while building assets. A powerful habit is to separate spending money from building money as early as possible. When money enters your hands, give it a job. Some should go to living needs. Some should go to safety. Some should go to growth. Some should go to future assets. Without this structure, money leaks away through casual choices. With structure, money begins to obey direction. A person who gives every dollar a purpose becomes harder to shake and easier to grow. This is not about being stingy. It is about being intentional. Intention creates order. Order supports wealth. You also need to learn the value of leverage, but in a healthy and responsible way. Leverage means using one effort to create a larger result. It can mean using technology. It can mean using knowledge. It can mean using systems. It can mean using other people's strengths in fair and ethical ways. A business that is organized well can serve more people than one person could serve alone. A digital tool can spread work faster than manual effort. A strong process can reduce stress and increase consistency. The rich often do not work harder than everyone else. They work in ways that allow effort to stretch further. That is a powerful lesson. Effort matters, but efficient effort matters too. To build assets, you must also accept that not every move will succeed. That is part of the path. A mature person does not collapse after a mistake. They study it. They learn from it. They adjust. They continue. Mistakes become costly only when they are repeated without wisdom. A loss can become useful if it teaches discipline. A failure can become useful if it shows where the plan was weak. A setback can become useful if it sharpens character. The goal is not to avoid every hard lesson. The goal is to become wiser through them. That is how resilience grows. Some people hear the word asset and think only of large investments. That is too narrow. An asset can be a repeatable service. It can be a customer list. It can be a brand people trust. It can be a network of people who support your work. It can be a license. It can be intellectual property. It can be a business that solves a real problem. It can be a habit of saving. It can be a reputation for excellence. If something increases your ability to create future value, it belongs in the asset conversation. The more clearly you understand this, the more possibilities you see around you. The real work is to stop living only for consumption and start living for creation. Consumption only takes. Creation gives. Consumption ends. Creation continues. Consumption can feel good for a moment, but often leaves nothing behind. Creation may feel harder, but leaves a trail of value. A life built around creation becomes stronger each year. A life built around consumption often becomes more anxious each year. The difference is not luck. It is habit. It is direction. It is what a person chooses to repeat. Look at your daily routine with honesty. What part of your day builds the future? What part of your day only entertains the present? Entertainment is not wrong. Rest is not wrong. Enjoyment is not wrong. But if the majority of your time produces no future value, then your life will feel crowded but not progressive. Balance is needed. A wise person gives time to rest, but also gives time to building. They do not wait for motivation. They follow routine. They protect hours. They stay consistent. They understand that a life is shaped more by repeated actions than dramatic moments. Assets grow best in an environment of patience and clarity. Do not rush into things you do not understand. Do not chase what looks impressive but produces nothing stable. Do not copy people who seem successful but are built on debt, image, or chaos. Build on truth. Build on what you can maintain. Build on what serves people. Build on what grows steadily. It is better to move with calm confidence than with reckless speed. Fast decisions can be expensive. Wise decisions can be slow but strong. There is a quiet dignity in building the right way. It may not attract attention at first. It may not produce applause. But it creates peace. And peace is valuable. Many people chase money and forget that peace matters too. An asset that brings income but destroys your health or mind is not a good asset. A path that increases stress every day is not a wise path. The best kind of wealth supports a better life. It brings freedom. It brings choices. It brings stability. It allows a person to stand tall without fear of every surprise. This is why your standards matter. If you keep high standards for your work, your learning, your spending, and your choices, your future becomes stronger. Standards protect you from laziness. Standards protect you from shortcuts. Standards protect you from self-deception. A person with standards can say no to what weakens them. That ability is powerful. Every no to distraction is a yes to growth. Every no to waste is a yes to building. Every no to quick pleasure is a yes to a better tomorrow. A good place to begin is with one daily action that supports asset growth. Save a small amount every day. Learn one skill every day. Read one useful page every day. Improve one part of your work every day. Track your spending every day. Create something useful every day. Speak to people with professionalism every day. These actions may feel small, but they build momentum. Momentum is important because it reduces resistance. Once a person is moving with purpose, staying in motion becomes easier. Action breeds confidence. Confidence breeds stronger action. The cycle grows, and when discouragement comes, remember this: building takes time. A strong life is not assembled overnight. You may not see all the results today. That is normal. Seeds do not become fruit instantly, but hidden progress still matters. Under the surface, roots are forming. Habits are taking shape. Character is being strengthened. Money is being arranged. Skills are becoming sharper. That hidden work is real. Do not dismiss it because it is not yet visible. Much of success is invisible before it is obvious. The rich do not simply make money easily because life is easier for them. Many of them have simply learned to build systems, assets, and habits that keep working. They have learned to delay pleasure, think long-term, and stay disciplined when others quit. That can be learned. It is not reserved for a special class of people. It is available to anyone willing to train the mind and steady the hands. The path is open. The price is consistency, so begin now, not with fear, not with excuses, not with fantasies. Begin with a clear look at your life and a decision to build. Decide that some part of your effort will no longer disappear into nothing. Decide that your time will create value. Decide that your money will be guided instead of scattered. Decide that your energy will go into things that remain. Decide that you will become a person who owns, creates, protects, and grows. This chapter is not only about money. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle money well. It is about maturity. It is about discipline. It is about the quiet strength to build what lasts. The future belongs to those who think beyond the moment and act with purpose today. Build assets that generate income. Build habits that protect your future. Build a mind that stays calm under pressure. Build a life that grows stronger over time. That is how freedom begins. That is how confidence grows. That is how a person stops chasing life and starts shaping it. Chapter 20. Identify opportunities where money can grow without constant effort. Money grows most powerfully when effort creates results that continue long after the work is finished. Many people spend their entire lives exchanging hours for income. They wake up, work hard, receive payment, and repeat the cycle again the next day. There is nothing dishonorable about honest work. Work builds discipline and character, yet relying only on labor creates a fragile system because income stops the moment work stops. A wiser approach is to search for opportunities where effort produces value that keeps returning without demanding the same amount of energy again and again. This idea is not about avoiding effort. It is about directing effort with intelligence. Some actions require energy only once but deliver benefits repeatedly. When a person learns to identify these opportunities, financial growth becomes more stable and less exhausting. Instead of running faster every year, the person begins building systems that support progress. The first step is learning how to recognize opportunities that carry long-term value. Opportunities rarely appear with a bright signal announcing themselves. They often appear quietly as problems waiting to be solved. Wherever people struggle with something repeatedly, there is often a chance to build a solution that can serve many people over time. A solution may be a product, a service, a system, or a piece of knowledge. The more useful the solution becomes, the more value it can produce without constant attention. Observation becomes a powerful skill here. Look carefully at daily life. Notice what people complain about. Notice what tasks they repeat often. Notice where time is wasted or where confusion exists. Each of these situations contains hidden potential. Someone who creates a clear answer to a common problem builds something that can continue helping others for years. That is where money can grow without requiring the same effort every single day. Technology has opened many doors for this type of opportunity. A person can create something once and distribute it to thousands or even millions of people. A digital product, educational resource, software tool, or creative work can continue generating income long after it has been completed. The key is usefulness. People return to things that improve their lives. If something saves time, reduces difficulty, or teaches a valuable skill, it becomes attractive. When a creation becomes valuable to many people, it begins working like an asset. Another powerful opportunity exists in ownership. Ownership places you on the receiving side of value instead of the paying side. When a person owns something productive, that asset can generate income repeatedly. Property that produces rent, investments that produce dividends, businesses that sell products, and intellectual creations that earn royalties all operate on this principle. The owner does not need to perform every task personally. The asset itself performs part of the work. This requires patience because ownership is rarely built overnight. A person may begin with a small investment or a modest project. At first the results may seem minor. However, steady progress allows the asset to grow. Over time, the income it produces begins to carry more weight. Gradually the pressure on daily labor decreases because the asset contributes its share. Learning where to place attention is also critical. Opportunities that produce lasting income usually require thoughtful planning at the beginning. Many people chase fast money because it feels exciting. Yet quick gains often disappear just as quickly. Stable opportunities usually grow more slowly but stand on stronger ground. They are connected to real needs and useful services. A disciplined mind evaluates opportunities with calm reasoning. Ask practical questions before committing energy or money. Does this solve a genuine problem? Will people continue needing this solution in the future? Can the effort produce results more than once? Does the system allow growth without demanding equal effort every time? These questions protect a person from impulsive choices. They guide attention toward opportunities that hold real potential. Education plays an important role in this process. The more knowledge a person gathers about business, markets, and technology, the easier it becomes to recognize valuable openings. Information sharpens vision. Without knowledge, many opportunities remain invisible because the mind cannot interpret them. A person who studies consistently begins to notice patterns. They see connections others overlook. They recognize value where others see ordinary situations. For example, someone who understands online communication may recognize an opportunity to teach a skill through digital courses. Another person who understands property markets may notice locations where rental demand is rising. A person with design knowledge may create templates used by thousands of businesses. Each of these situations begins with awareness. Knowledge expands the field of vision. Still, knowledge alone does not produce results. Action transforms ideas into reality. Opportunities exist everywhere, but they reward those who move forward with courage and discipline. Waiting for perfect certainty often leads to endless delay. Progress begins when a person gathers enough information to make a thoughtful decision and then commits to building something useful. Start with manageable steps. Instead of trying to create a complex system immediately, begin with a small project that can grow. Perhaps you design a helpful digital resource. Perhaps you start a small online service that solves a simple problem. Perhaps you invest a small amount consistently. Each step builds experience. Experience strengthens judgment. Judgment leads to better opportunities. Another important principle is automation. Automation allows systems to continue operating with minimal supervision. In business, this might involve software that handles orders, payments, or communication. In finance, it might involve automatic savings or investment plans. In content creation, it might involve platforms that distribute work continuously. Automation does not eliminate responsibility, but it reduces the need for constant manual effort. This approach frees mental energy. Instead of managing every small task, a person can focus on improving systems and discovering new opportunities. The result is greater efficiency and more time available for thoughtful decisions. Partnerships can also help opportunities grow with less effort. When individuals combine their strengths, each person contributes to a stronger outcome. One person may understand technology, another may understand marketing, another may understand operations. Together they build something larger than any one person could achieve alone. A wise partnership respects fairness and shared responsibility. When trust exists, growth becomes easier. However, caution is necessary when evaluating partnerships. Shared projects require clear agreements and honest communication. Choose partners who demonstrate integrity and reliability. A partnership built on trust multiplies strength. A partnership built on carelessness can destroy valuable work. Patience in choosing collaborators protects both effort and reputation. Another area where opportunities often appear is in systems that improve efficiency. Businesses and individuals constantly search for ways to save time and reduce complexity. When someone creates a tool or method that simplifies a repeated task, the value becomes clear. A system that helps people work faster or think more clearly can attract continuous demand. Demand creates income that does not require constant new labor because the system continues functioning. Discipline is essential while pursuing these opportunities. Distractions are everywhere. Many people abandon promising ideas because results take time. A patient mind remains steady. It understands that worthwhile systems often require months or years of careful building. The early stage may involve learning, adjustments, and persistence, yet each improvement strengthens the foundation. Emotional control also protects progress. Excitement may encourage reckless decisions, while fear may prevent action altogether. A balanced perspective keeps attention focused on long-term outcomes. Instead of reacting to temporary moods, a disciplined person follows principles. These principles include patience, thoughtful analysis, and consistent effort. Financial management supports this journey as well. Opportunities often require initial resources. Saving money creates the ability to invest in useful ideas. Without savings, even excellent opportunities may remain unreachable. A responsible financial habit ensures that part of income is reserved for future growth. Another valuable practice is tracking results carefully. When you monitor how an opportunity performs, you gain insight into what works and what needs improvement. Numbers reveal truth. They show whether a project produces value or requires adjustment. This clarity helps refine strategies and strengthen decision-making. It is also wise to remain flexible. Markets change, technology evolves, human needs shift over time. Opportunities that succeed today may require adaptation tomorrow. A person who stays curious and willing to learn can adjust systems when necessary. Flexibility protects long-term growth. Many successful individuals develop a habit of regularly scanning their environment for possibilities. They read widely, listen carefully, and observe trends. They pay attention to new technologies, social changes, and emerging needs. This habit keeps their mind alert. Opportunities often appear where change is happening. Still, the goal is not to chase every trend. The goal is to understand which changes create lasting value. Temporary excitement can create noise that distracts from meaningful opportunities. A calm mind filters this noise by asking practical questions about usefulness and sustainability. One powerful mindset shift involves seeing effort as a seed rather than a transaction. When effort is treated only as a trade for immediate income, its potential remains limited. When effort is used to plant something that can grow, the outcome becomes much larger. A single project, carefully built, can influence the future for many years. Imagine the difference between completing a task once and building a tool that completes that task for thousands of people. The tool continues working long after the creator moves on to other goals. That is the kind of opportunity that allows money to grow with less continuous effort. Patience remains the silent partner in this process. Systems require time to gain attention, trust, and users. Many individuals abandon their projects just before momentum begins to build. A steady mind resists this impatience. It continues refining the work while others lose focus. The pursuit of these opportunities also develops character. It encourages thoughtful planning, responsible risk management, and disciplined execution. A person becomes stronger through the process of building something that endures. As you move forward, remember that opportunities rarely appear perfectly prepared. Often they begin as simple ideas or observations. With effort, those ideas become practical solutions. With patience, those solutions become reliable systems. With discipline, those systems become assets that continue serving people and producing income. Your task is to train your attention to recognize where value can multiply. Study problems carefully. Build solutions that remain useful. Design systems that continue operating beyond your direct involvement. Invest in assets that grow steadily over time. Each thoughtful step brings you closer to a life where money does not depend entirely on daily labor. Instead, it begins flowing from the value you have already created. That shift changes the entire experience of work and wealth. Effort becomes more meaningful because it builds something lasting. A person who learns to identify these opportunities develops a quiet confidence. They know that every thoughtful project has the potential to grow beyond the moment it was created. With patience, knowledge, and disciplined action, money can begin working alongside them instead of remaining something that must always be chased. Chapter 3. Develop habits that strengthen discipline and financial resilience daily. Discipline is not a trait that appears by chance. It is built through small choices repeated with care until they become part of your character. Financial resilience works in the same way. It is not created by one smart decision alone. It grows through daily habits that protect your money, sharpen your thinking, and keep you steady when life becomes difficult. A person with discipline can face pressure without losing control. A person with financial resilience can face change without falling apart. Both begin with what you do every ordinary day. Many people wait for a better moment to become organized with money. They say they will start saving when income rises. They say they will plan when life becomes less busy. They say they will become consistent after things calm down. But the truth is that a strong future is usually built during busy days, not after them. Daily habits matter because daily habits shape your instincts. They train your mind to respond with order instead of panic. They help you become a person who acts with purpose, even when no one is watching. One of the most important habits is learning to begin the day with clarity. Before spending money or making decisions, take a few quiet minutes to think about what matters most. Ask yourself what today requires and what today should not take from you. This simple pause can protect you from careless choices. A rushed mind often spends poorly, reacts emotionally, and forgets long-term goals. A calm mind sees more clearly. It knows that every day carries a chance to improve, but only if attention is controlled. Another habit that builds discipline is tracking where your money goes. Many people lose strength because they do not know their own spending patterns. Money disappears in small amounts until there is nothing left to show for it. When you write down your spending or review it honestly, you begin to see the truth. That truth may be uncomfortable at first, but it is useful. It reveals habits that need correction. It helps you understand whether your money is supporting your future or quietly weakening it. Awareness is the first step toward control. Resilient people are not the ones who never make mistakes. They are the ones who learn from their mistakes and adjust quickly. That is why review is such a powerful habit. At the end of the day, look at what you did well and where you lost focus. Did you save what you planned to save? Did you avoid emotional spending? Did you stay committed to your goals? Did you choose progress over comfort? These questions are not for guilt. They are for growth. Honest review keeps your standards alive. Daily discipline also grows through structure. A person who gives each part of the day a purpose wastes less energy. Set a time for work. Set a time for learning. Set a time for planning. Set a time for rest. When your life has order, your money often begins to follow the same pattern. Random living produces random outcomes. Structured living creates better results. Even a simple routine can change how you handle pressure because it reduces confusion. Financial resilience requires preparation. Emergencies do not ask for permission before arriving. A bill may appear unexpectedly. A job may change. A family issue may create pressure. Life can shift quickly. A prepared person does not panic as easily because they have built a cushion. They have saved something. They have reduced waste. They have arranged their finances with care. This kind of preparation is not fear. It is wisdom. It allows you to face change without losing your peace. One strong habit is to pay yourself first, even if the amount is small. Do not wait until the end of the month to see what remains. Set aside a portion early and protect it. This teaches your mind that future security matters. It also builds consistency. A small amount saved regularly can grow into something useful over time. The number matters less at the beginning than the habit itself. Repetition is what strengthens the pattern. Another habit that builds resilience is living below your means. This is not about denying yourself every comfort. It is about refusing to let spending become careless. A person who always spends as much as they earn has little protection when life changes. A person who leaves room in their finances has more freedom. They can breathe more easily. They can handle delays, setbacks, and surprises with less stress. Living with margin is a sign of maturity. It gives you room to think clearly instead of reacting under pressure. Learning also belongs in your daily routine. Financial resilience grows stronger when you understand money better. Read about saving. Learn how interest works. Learn the basics of investing. Learn how businesses create value. Learn how risk should be managed. Knowledge gives you choices. It helps you make better decisions and avoid obvious traps. A person who keeps learning becomes harder to mislead and easier to strengthen. The more you understand, the less power confusion has over you. Discipline also shows itself in how you handle temptation. There will always be things that promise comfort now and pain later. Fast purchases, emotional decisions, and careless habits often appear harmless in the moment, but each one weakens your ability to stay steady. A resilient person practices restraint. They do not buy everything they want. They do not chase every desire. They know that control is a source of freedom. The ability to say no at the right time protects more than money. It protects character. There is also strength in simplicity. A complicated financial life is harder to manage. Too many subscriptions, too many debts, too many scattered goals, and too many weak commitments can create stress. Simplicity brings clarity. Keep your financial life as clear as possible. Know what comes in. Know what goes out. Know what you are building. Know what you are avoiding. Clear systems make disciplined action easier to maintain. Another habit worth building is consistency with small actions. Many people look for dramatic progress, but daily progress often matters more. Saving a little, learning a little, reviewing a little, and improving a little can become powerful when repeated over time. Small actions are easier to keep. Small actions build confidence. Small actions create proof that you are serious. Over time, those actions become part of your identity. You stop seeing discipline as a task and start seeing it as who you are. When setbacks come, do not turn them into identity. A bad month does not make you a failure. A mistake does not erase your future. A difficult season does not mean growth has stopped. Resilience means staying connected to your purpose even when results are delayed. It means keeping your habits in place when emotions rise. It means remaining calm enough to think, adjust, and continue. The more steady you become under pressure, the more strength you create for the future. It is also useful to build habits that protect your energy. Fatigue often leads to weak financial choices. When people are tired, they spend more carelessly, think less clearly, and abandon good habits more easily. Rest matters, sleep matters, quiet matters. Your discipline will be harder to maintain if your body and mind are constantly drained. Caring for your energy is not laziness. It is part of wise stewardship. You cannot build strong habits with a weak foundation. A resilient person also knows how to delay reward. That skill changes everything. Instead of chasing instant comfort, they wait for better results. They understand that patience often improves outcomes. This does not mean becoming cold or joyless. It means becoming wise enough to choose long-term gain over short-term satisfaction. The ability to wait with purpose is one of the clearest signs of maturity. Daily habits become powerful when they are connected to a clear reason. Do not save just because someone said you should. Save because you want peace. Do not budget just because it sounds responsible. Budget because you want control. Do not learn about money just to seem informed. Learn because you want a better life and a stronger future. Purpose gives energy to discipline. Without purpose, habits can feel empty. With purpose, they become meaningful. Every day offers a chance to become stronger than you were yesterday, not by force, not by pressure, by steady practice. The person who builds financial resilience does not wait for life to become easy. They learn how to stand firm while life is still moving. They create habits that protect them from chaos. They train their mind to stay calm. They make wise decisions before urgency arrives. They keep improving even when progress is slow. This is how discipline becomes real. This is how money becomes safer. This is how a life becomes more stable. One day at a time, one choice at a time, one habit at a time. When you protect your time, your attention, your spending, and your energy, you become harder to break and easier to grow. That is the quiet power of daily discipline. That is the strength that carries a person through change. That is the kind of resilience that turns ordinary days into a better future. Chapter 4: Leverage knowledge to make smarter decisions with your resources. Resources are limited for every person. Time is limited. Energy is limited. Money is limited. The difference between those who struggle for long periods and those who gradually gain stability often lies in how wisely they use these resources. Knowledge becomes the tool that sharpens judgment and turns ordinary choices into powerful steps forward. Without knowledge, decisions are based on guesswork or emotion. With knowledge, decisions begin to follow reason and understanding. When a person begins to treat knowledge as an asset, their entire approach to money and opportunity starts to change. Knowledge does not simply fill the mind with facts. It trains the mind to evaluate situations more clearly. It teaches you how to recognize patterns, how to measure risk, and how to understand the consequences of your actions before you take them. The goal is not to collect endless information, but to use the right information at the right moment. Many people make financial decisions based on pressure or excitement. They see something that promises fast rewards and react without careful thought. Others avoid decisions completely because they feel uncertain. Both reactions come from a lack of understanding. Knowledge brings balance. It helps you slow down when enthusiasm is pushing you too quickly. It also gives you confidence when fear is trying to hold you back. In this way, knowledge protects both your courage and your caution. The first step toward using knowledge wisely is developing the habit of learning with intention. Instead of consuming random information, focus your attention on subjects that strengthen your ability to make decisions. Study how money moves. Learn how businesses operate. Understand how markets change over time. Explore how successful individuals manage resources. These areas of learning give you practical insight that can be applied directly to daily life. Learning does not require complicated methods. Reading carefully chosen books, listening to thoughtful discussions, and studying real examples can gradually sharpen your awareness. The key is consistency. A small amount of learning repeated every day begins to reshape your thinking. Over time, your ability to evaluate opportunities becomes stronger. You begin to notice details that once passed by unnoticed. Knowledge becomes powerful only when it is connected to action. Information that remains unused has little value. When you learn something useful, apply it as soon as possible. If you read about budgeting, organize your finances. If you learn about investment principles, begin with a modest step that allows you to gain experience. If you study negotiation or communication, practice those skills in everyday situations. Action turns knowledge into skill, and skill turns decisions into progress. Another important part of intelligent decision-making is asking better questions. Knowledge encourages curiosity. Instead of accepting situations as they appear, begin examining them more closely. Ask yourself why certain outcomes happen. Ask what factors influence success or failure. Ask what risks might appear in the future. These questions sharpen your thinking and prevent careless mistakes. Careful observation also plays a powerful role. Every environment contains lessons for those who pay attention. Businesses reveal how value is created and delivered. Markets reveal how demand changes. People reveal how trust and reputation influence success. By observing patiently, you gather practical knowledge that cannot always be found in books. Real life becomes a classroom when your mind remains alert. Another advantage of knowledge is the ability to avoid common traps. Many financial mistakes occur because people follow advice without understanding the reasoning behind it. When you know the basic principles of money management, you become less vulnerable to misleading promises. You recognize when something sounds unrealistic. You learn to ask for evidence before committing your resources. This protective awareness saves both money and time. Learning from experience is another essential source of knowledge. Every decision carries a lesson. When something works well, study why it succeeded. When something fails, examine what went wrong. These reflections build wisdom. They transform mistakes into valuable teachers. Over time, your judgment becomes sharper because it is supported by real experience rather than theory alone. Surrounding yourself with thoughtful individuals also increases your knowledge. Conversations with people who think carefully can reveal insights you may not discover on your own. Listening to different perspectives expands your understanding. It encourages you to reconsider assumptions and refine your ideas. Choose your influences wisely. People who value discipline and responsibility will strengthen your thinking far more than those who chase easy rewards. Knowledge also improves how you manage risk. Every opportunity carries some uncertainty. Wise individuals do not avoid risk completely because progress often requires stepping into the unknown. However, they study the situation before acting. They gather information about possible outcomes and prepare for challenges. This thoughtful preparation reduces the chance of severe loss and increases the likelihood of success. Time management becomes more effective when guided by knowledge. Many people invest hours in activities that provide little benefit to their future. When you understand what truly contributes to growth, you begin to allocate your time more carefully. Activities that develop skills, expand understanding, and build useful connections receive greater attention. Distractions gradually lose their influence because you recognize their hidden cost. Another powerful way to use knowledge is through planning. A clear plan transforms scattered effort into organized progress. When you understand your goals and the steps required to reach them, your resources begin moving in a consistent direction. Planning does not remove uncertainty, but it reduces confusion. It allows you to focus your energy on meaningful actions rather than constant reaction. Patience also grows from knowledge. When you understand how long-term growth works, you become less tempted by short-term excitement. You recognize that worthwhile achievements usually require steady effort and time. This understanding protects you from frustration during slow periods. Instead of abandoning your path, you continue improving your strategy while trusting the process. Financial decisions often involve emotion because money affects security and comfort. Knowledge helps keep emotions balanced. When you understand your plan and the reasoning behind it, you are less likely to panic during temporary setbacks. You can evaluate the situation calmly and decide whether adjustment is necessary. This stability allows you to stay focused even when circumstances change. Another important aspect of using knowledge wisely is simplicity. Complex strategies often appear impressive but may hide unnecessary risk. Clear and straightforward plans are easier to manage and adjust. When you understand the principles behind your decisions, you do not need complicated systems to succeed. Simplicity allows you to remain consistent because your actions are easier to maintain. Learning should also include understanding your own behavior. Self-awareness is a form of knowledge that many people overlook. Notice how you react under pressure. Observe how emotions influence your decisions. Recognize situations where impatience or fear affects your judgment. This awareness allows you to correct those tendencies before they cause harm. Building knowledge takes time, but the results accumulate quietly. Each insight strengthens your ability to evaluate choices. Each lesson increases your confidence. Gradually, your decisions begin to produce better outcomes because they are guided by understanding rather than impulse. Over time, this difference becomes visible in your financial stability and personal growth. A person who respects knowledge treats learning as a lifelong practice. The world continues changing, and new challenges appear regularly. Staying curious keeps your mind flexible. It allows you to adapt when conditions shift. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by change, you approach it with interest and preparation. When knowledge guides your actions, your resources begin working more effectively. Time is used with purpose. Money is directed toward meaningful opportunities. Energy is invested in activities that produce lasting value. Each decision becomes part of a larger strategy rather than an isolated reaction. This transformation does not happen through one dramatic moment. It grows through daily effort to understand more clearly and act more wisely. By strengthening your mind with useful knowledge, you create a powerful advantage. You become capable of navigating complex situations with calm reasoning. The journey towards smarter decisions begins with a simple commitment to learn, observe, and apply. Every lesson becomes a tool that sharpens your judgment. Every experience becomes a guide for future choices. As knowledge expands, your confidence grows because your actions rest on solid understanding. In this way, knowledge becomes more than information. It becomes a compass that directs your resources toward meaningful progress. It helps you move forward with clarity and discipline. With each thoughtful decision, you strengthen your ability to build a stable and prosperous life. Chapter 50: Transform risks into calculated moves that multiply wealth consistently. Every meaningful step toward wealth carries some level of uncertainty. Nothing that grows in value is completely free from risk. The difference between those who lose money and those who build wealth over time is not the absence of risk. The difference is how risk is understood, prepared for, and managed. Wealth multiplies when risk becomes a calculated decision rather than a reckless gamble. Many people either run away from risk or chase it blindly. Both approaches create problems. Avoiding every uncertain situation can lead to stagnation because growth often requires stepping into unfamiliar territory. Chasing risk without preparation can lead to painful losses that damage confidence and stability. A wise approach sits between these extremes. It studies risk carefully and turns it into a controlled move guided by knowledge and discipline. Risk begins as a question. It asks whether the potential reward is worth the possible loss. The goal is not to eliminate uncertainty completely, because that is rarely possible. The goal is to understand the situation well enough to make a balanced decision. When a person studies opportunities carefully, the unknown becomes less threatening. Information begins to replace guesswork, and thoughtful planning replaces impulse. One of the most valuable habits for handling risk is patience. Impulsive decisions often happen when emotions move faster than understanding. A person sees a chance for quick profit and acts without careful examination. That moment of excitement can lead to regret because important details were ignored. Patience slows the process down. It allows time for research, reflection, and comparison. When patience guides action, the decision becomes stronger. Calculated moves require preparation. Before committing resources to any opportunity, take time to evaluate the situation. Ask clear questions about how the opportunity works. Understand where the value comes from. Examine the effort required and the conditions that might change the outcome. Identify what could go wrong and consider how you would respond if difficulties appear. This process may feel slow at first, but it protects you from costly mistakes. A strong decision also includes defining the limits of your risk. Never place yourself in a situation where one mistake can destroy everything you have built. Responsible investors and entrepreneurs protect their foundation. They decide in advance how much time, money, or effort they are willing to place at stake. If the situation moves beyond that limit, they step back without hesitation. This discipline ensures that a single setback does not erase years of progress. Learning from the experiences of others is another powerful way to transform risk into opportunity. History is filled with examples of success and failure. By studying these examples, you gain insight into patterns that repeat across different situations. Successful individuals often explain how they approached uncertain decisions, what mistakes they made, and how they corrected them. These lessons provide valuable guidance that can shorten your learning curve. Another helpful strategy is breaking large risks into smaller steps. Instead of committing everything at once, begin with a limited investment of time or money. Observe how the opportunity develops. Measure the results. If the situation shows promise, increase your involvement gradually. This method reduces the chance of severe loss while still allowing you to benefit from growth. Emotional control plays a crucial role when dealing with uncertainty. Fear can cause a person to abandon good opportunities, while greed can lead to careless actions. A calm mind remains focused on facts rather than feelings. It evaluates information clearly and responds with discipline. Developing this level of control requires practice, but it becomes easier with experience. Consistency also matters when multiplying wealth through calculated moves. One successful decision rarely creates lasting prosperity by itself. Long-term progress appears when thoughtful decisions are repeated over time. Each wise move adds strength to the next one. Gradually, the results begin to compound. What once looked like small progress begins to grow into meaningful change. Understanding probability can improve your approach to risk as well. Not every opportunity will succeed. Even well-researched decisions sometimes produce disappointing outcomes. Accepting this reality helps maintain emotional balance. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to make decisions that, over time, create more gains than losses. When positive outcomes occur more often than negative ones, wealth grows steadily. Preparation also includes maintaining financial stability outside of your risk-taking activities. A secure foundation allows you to approach opportunities with a clear mind. When basic needs are protected, decisions become less desperate and more strategic. Emergency savings, manageable expenses, and responsible planning give you the freedom to explore opportunities without placing your entire life at risk. Observation is another skill that strengthens calculated thinking. Pay attention to how markets behave, how people respond to new ideas, and how trends develop over time. Patterns begin to emerge when you observe patiently. Recognizing these patterns can help you anticipate changes and position yourself wisely. Flexibility is equally important. Conditions rarely remain the same forever. An opportunity that appears strong today may weaken in the future. A disciplined individual monitors progress and adjusts strategies when necessary. This willingness to adapt protects against losses and allows you to capture new advantages as circumstances change. Calculated risk also requires honesty with yourself. Avoid convincing yourself that an opportunity is better than it truly is. Look at the facts with clear judgment. If something appears uncertain or unstable, acknowledge the risk openly. Honest evaluation allows you to make better decisions because it prevents self-deception. Confidence grows gradually as you gain experience with risk. Each thoughtful decision teaches valuable lessons. Even when results fall short of expectations, the knowledge gained improves your ability to handle the next opportunity. Over time, your judgment becomes sharper and your actions more precise. Another powerful principle is diversification. Placing all your resources into a single opportunity creates unnecessary vulnerability. By spreading your efforts across several well-considered options, you reduce the impact of any single failure. This balanced approach protects progress while still allowing growth. Calculated risk also benefits from strong timing. Opportunities often appear during moments when others hesitate. Economic changes, technological advancements, or shifts in demand can create openings for those who remain attentive. Recognizing these moments requires awareness and readiness. When preparation meets opportunity, progress accelerates. The discipline to wait for the right moment is often more valuable than constant activity. Many individuals feel pressure to act quickly simply to feel productive. However, Thoughtful restraint can protect your resources until a clearer opportunity emerges. Acting at the right time often produces better results than acting frequently without direction. Transforming risk into calculated moves also requires strong personal values. Integrity and responsibility guide your decisions when facing uncertainty. Opportunities built on dishonesty or exploitation may promise quick rewards, but often lead to long-term consequences. Wealth that grows from ethical actions creates stability and trust, both of which support lasting success. Patience remains an essential partner throughout this journey. Calculated moves rarely deliver immediate results. They require time for systems to develop and for value to increase. A steady mindset allows you to remain committed during slow periods. Impatience, on the other hand, can cause a person to abandon promising paths too early. Each step taken with careful thought adds another layer of strength to your financial life. You become less reactive and more strategic. Decisions begin to follow principles instead of emotions. Risk no longer feels like a threat, but becomes a tool that can be used wisely. As this mindset grows stronger, opportunities that once seemed intimidating begin to appear manageable. You see potential where others see danger because you understand how to evaluate the situation properly. This confidence is not reckless. It is built on preparation, knowledge, and disciplined thinking. Over time, the accumulation of thoughtful decisions begins to transform your financial position. Each calculated move contributes to steady progress. Wealth multiplies not through luck alone, but through consistent judgment applied again and again. The path forward becomes clearer as you practice this approach. Study opportunities carefully. Protect your foundation. Act with patience and control. Learn from every experience. Continue refining your judgment. Through this process, risk becomes less of an obstacle and more of a stepping stone toward lasting growth. When you learn to transform uncertainty into calculated action, you gain the ability to move forward with confidence. Each wise decision builds momentum. Each lesson strengthens your understanding. Step by step, your resources begin working together in a deliberate strategy that leads towards steady and sustainable wealth. Chapter 60. Increase your value by continuously learning and improving skills. Value is the quiet force that shapes every opportunity in life. People may chase money, but money almost always follows value. When a person becomes more capable, more useful, and more reliable, the world begins to respond differently. Doors that once remained closed begin to open. Conversations become more meaningful. Opportunities appear in places that once seemed empty. Increasing your value is one of the most dependable ways to improve your financial future, and the most reliable path to increasing value is continuous learning combined with consistent skill development. Learning is not limited to classrooms or formal education. Real growth happens when curiosity becomes a daily habit. A person who remains curious continues expanding their understanding long after others stop trying. The world is constantly changing. New tools appear. New industries grow. New problems need solutions. A person who keeps learning stays ready for these changes instead of being surprised by them. Improving your skills begins with an honest look at where you stand today. Every individual has strengths and weaknesses. Recognizing both requires courage and humility. Some abilities come naturally, while others require steady practice. Neither situation should create pride or shame. They simply reveal where effort should be directed. Once you clearly understand your current position, it becomes easier to choose the next skill that deserves attention. A useful approach is to focus on skills that solve real problems for others. Skills gain value when they create results that people appreciate. Communication, organization, analysis, leadership, creativity, and technical knowledge all carry importance because they help others accomplish meaningful tasks. When your skills help people overcome difficulty or achieve goals, your contribution becomes valuable. Daily improvement does not require dramatic effort. Small actions repeated with care can transform your abilities over time. Reading useful material for a short period each day adds knowledge steadily. Practicing a skill for a limited amount of time strengthens your ability without overwhelming your schedule. Listening to experienced individuals provides insight that shortens your learning process. These habits appear simple, yet their long-term effect is powerful. Skill development requires patience. Progress may appear slow during the early stages of learning. Many people abandon their efforts because they expect immediate mastery. True growth rarely follows that pattern. It moves forward step by step. Each practice session builds familiarity. Each lesson adds clarity. Eventually, the skill begins to feel natural. This moment arrives quietly, often after weeks or months of steady effort. Confidence grows from competence. When you know how to perform a task well, uncertainty begins to fade. This confidence encourages you to accept greater responsibility and pursue larger opportunities. A skilled individual does not need to rely on luck alone. Their abilities create results that others can depend on. Reliability attracts trust, and trust often leads to financial growth. Improving your value also requires learning how to think clearly. Strong thinking allows you to solve problems more effectively. It helps you analyze situations from multiple perspectives. It encourages thoughtful decisions instead of quick reactions. Reading thoughtful ideas, studying successful strategies, and reflecting on your own experiences can strengthen this ability. Clear thinking becomes a powerful advantage because it guides every action you take. Practice plays a central role in skill development. Knowledge alone is not enough. Understanding a concept does not guarantee that you can apply it when needed. Practice transforms information into ability. Repetition strengthens accuracy and speed. Each attempt reveals small adjustments that improve your performance. With time, practice turns effort into skill. Feedback also accelerates improvement. When others observe your work, they may notice details you missed. Honest feedback helps you correct mistakes and refine your approach. Accepting constructive criticism requires maturity, yet it is one of the fastest ways to grow. Instead of feeling discouraged by correction, treat it as guidance that leads you toward excellence. Another useful habit is studying individuals who have already mastered the skills you want to develop. Their experience contains lessons gathered through years of effort. Observe how they approach challenges, how they communicate, and how they organize their work. You may not copy every detail, but you can learn valuable principles from their methods. Expanding your abilities often involves stepping beyond familiar routines. Comfort can slow progress because it removes the pressure to improve. New challenges require new thinking. They force you to stretch your abilities and adapt to unfamiliar situations. While this process may feel uncomfortable at times, it strengthens your resilience and broadens your capabilities. Improving your value also means learning how to combine skills. A single skill can be useful, but a combination of skills creates greater flexibility. For example, technical knowledge paired with communication ability allows you to explain complex ideas clearly. Creative thinking combined with organization helps transform ideas into practical results. Each additional skill increases your ability to contribute in meaningful ways. Time management supports this process of continuous growth. When time is scattered across distractions, learning becomes difficult. Setting aside specific moments for study and practice protects your progress. Even short sessions of focused effort can produce meaningful improvement when repeated consistently. Self-discipline plays an essential role as well. There will be days when motivation feels weak. Progress during those moments depends on commitment rather than enthusiasm. A disciplined individual continues practicing even when results are not immediately visible. This persistence separates those who wish for improvement from those who achieve it. Learning also expands your awareness of opportunities. When you understand different fields and industries, you begin noticing connections between ideas. These connections can inspire new solutions or reveal unexplored paths. Curiosity allows your mind to travel beyond narrow boundaries, making it easier to discover possibilities that others overlook. Another important aspect of personal value is integrity. Skills may open doors, but character determines whether those doors remain open. Reliability, honesty, and responsibility build trust with others. Trust strengthens relationships, and strong relationships often lead to new opportunities. When your abilities are supported by integrity, your reputation becomes an asset that continues growing. Maintaining humility keeps the learning process alive. No matter how much knowledge you gain, there will always be more to understand. A humble mindset allows you to keep asking questions and seeking improvement. Arrogance closes the door to growth because it convinces a person they have already learned enough. Adaptability is another valuable quality developed through learning. As technology evolves and industries change, certain skills may lose importance while others become essential. A person who remains curious can adjust quickly. Instead of resisting change, they learn the new tools and methods required to stay relevant. Energy management also influences your ability to learn. A tired mind struggles to absorb information or practice effectively. Taking care of your physical health through rest, movement, and balanced habits supports mental performance. A strong body helps maintain the focus required for continuous improvement. Patience becomes your companion throughout this journey. The most meaningful abilities require time to develop fully. Accept the gradual pace of growth. Appreciate each small improvement as proof that your efforts are working. With patience, your skills will mature into strengths that shape your future. As your value increases, your confidence becomes grounded in real capability. You understand that your abilities are not temporary. They are the result of steady work and continuous learning. This understanding allows you to approach opportunities with calm determination. Every lesson learned adds another tool to your mind. Every hour of practice strengthens your ability to contribute. Over time, these small investments in knowledge and skill combine into a powerful force. They create a foundation that supports long-term progress and financial growth. By committing to continuous learning, you ensure that your value never remains stagnant. You evolve with the world instead of falling behind it. Your skills become sharper, your thinking clearer, and your opportunities broader. This steady development transforms effort into lasting progress and helps you build a life defined by capability, resilience, and purpose. Chapter 7. Protect your assets through careful planning and strategic action. Building assets requires time, patience, discipline, and sacrifice. Yet creating value is only one side of the journey. Protecting what you build is equally important. Many people work hard to grow their wealth, but they fail to guard it with the same level of attention. As a result, years of effort can disappear through careless decisions, poor planning, or unexpected challenges. True financial strength comes from knowing how to defend your assets with careful thought and strategic action. Protection begins with awareness. When a person understands what they own and why it matters, they naturally become more attentive to its safety. Assets are not only houses, investments, or businesses. Assets also include skills, reputation, relationships, and knowledge. Each one contributes to stability and future opportunity. When you recognize the importance of these elements, you begin treating them with respect and responsibility. A wise person regularly reviews their financial position. This habit prevents confusion and allows you to see the full picture of your resources. Knowing where your money is placed, how it is performing, and what risks may affect it creates a sense of control. Without this clarity, small problems can grow unnoticed until they become serious setbacks. Regular review acts like maintenance for your financial life, ensuring that everything continues functioning as intended. Planning plays a central role in protecting assets. A thoughtful plan considers both opportunity and risk. It asks how resources should be distributed and what safeguards should be in place. Instead of placing everything into one area, strategic planning spreads resources across different forms of value. This balanced approach reduces the impact of unexpected losses. When one area experiences difficulty, others may remain stable and support recovery. Preparation also means anticipating challenges before they appear. Life rarely moves in a perfectly predictable way. Economic changes, personal emergencies, or unexpected events can influence financial stability. Strategic planning prepares for these possibilities by creating safety measures. Emergency savings, insurance, and clear financial agreements are examples of protective tools that reduce uncertainty. An emergency fund is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to guard your assets. It provides a buffer when unexpected expenses arise. Without this reserve, people are often forced to sell valuable assets or take on costly debt during difficult times. A carefully maintained emergency fund gives you breathing space. It allows you to solve problems calmly instead of reacting under pressure. Insurance is another form of protection that many individuals overlook until it is too late. Certain risks cannot be completely avoided. Accidents, natural events, and health issues may occur despite careful planning. Insurance transfers some of this risk to a system designed to manage it. While it may feel like an unnecessary expense during peaceful periods, its true value becomes clear during challenging moments. Legal protection is also an important part of safeguarding your assets. Clear agreements, proper documentation, and professional advice help prevent misunderstandings and disputes. Whether you are starting a business, investing in property, or entering partnerships, written agreements provide clarity and fairness. Taking time to establish proper legal structures ensures that your efforts remain protected. Strategic action also involves managing debt carefully. Debt can sometimes support growth when used responsibly, but excessive borrowing places assets at risk. High obligations reduce flexibility and increase vulnerability during economic shifts. Maintaining a balanced approach to borrowing ensures that debt remains manageable rather than becoming a burden. Another important aspect of protection is maintaining the quality of your assets. A property that is neglected loses value over time. A business that stops improving becomes outdated. Skills that are not practiced gradually weaken. Regular attention keeps your assets strong and competitive. Maintenance, improvement, and reinvestment preserve value and often increase it. Reputation deserves special attention in this process. A strong reputation is one of the most valuable assets a person can possess. It influences how others trust you, work with you, and support your efforts. Reputation is built slowly through consistent honesty, reliability, and respect for others. However, it can be damaged quickly through careless actions. Protecting your reputation requires discipline in communication, fairness in decisions, and integrity in every commitment. Strategic thinking also requires recognizing when to adjust your plans. Circumstances evolve over time. Markets shift, technologies advance, and industries change. A plan that worked well several years ago may require revision today. Reviewing your strategies periodically ensures that your protection methods remain effective. Flexibility allows you to respond to change without losing direction. Another layer of protection comes from keeping your financial life organized. Records, contracts, and important documents should be stored safely and reviewed when necessary. Organization may appear simple, but it prevents confusion and ensures that information is accessible when needed. Clear records also help during tax preparation, legal matters, and financial evaluations. Discipline plays a major role in protecting assets as well. Many losses occur because people act impulsively during moments of excitement or fear. Emotional reactions can lead to poor decisions, such as selling valuable investments too quickly or entering risky agreements without proper evaluation. A disciplined mindset keeps decisions aligned with long-term goals instead of temporary emotions. Patience also strengthens protection strategies. When people rush into opportunities without studying them carefully, they expose themselves to unnecessary risk. Taking time to understand the details of any investment or partnership allows you to identify potential weaknesses before committing resources. Careful evaluation protects your efforts and ensures that every decision supports long-term stability. Diversification is another practical method for asset protection. Placing all resources into a single opportunity increases vulnerability. A balanced approach distributes investments across different areas such as property, businesses, and financial instruments. This variety reduces the chance that one unfavorable event will damage your entire financial structure. Communication with trusted advisors can further strengthen your planning. Financial professionals, legal experts, and experienced mentors can offer insights that protect against mistakes. Their knowledge often highlights risks that might not be immediately visible. Listening to informed perspectives helps refine your strategies and strengthens your overall protection plan. Self-control remains one of the most powerful safeguards. The temptation to overspend, chase quick profits, or follow trends without understanding them can weaken even the strongest financial position. Practicing restraint protects your assets from unnecessary exposure. Thoughtful decisions maintain balance and ensure that progress continues steadily. Gratitude also supports responsible protection. When you appreciate what you have built, you become more careful with it. Gratitude encourages stewardship rather than carelessness. It reminds you that every asset represents effort, learning, and time invested in your future. The habit of regular evaluation keeps your strategies effective. Set aside moments throughout the year to examine how your assets are performing and whether your protective measures remain adequate. This review allows you to adjust plans before small issues become larger concerns. Continuous attention ensures that your efforts remain aligned with your goals. Strength also comes from personal resilience. When you develop emotional stability and disciplined thinking, you respond to challenges with clarity instead of panic. This inner strength supports every external strategy you create. A calm mind protects assets by making wise decisions even during uncertain periods. As your assets grow, the responsibility to protect them grows as well. Wealth that is not guarded carefully can disappear through neglect or poor planning. However, wealth that is protected thoughtfully becomes a stable foundation for future opportunities. It allows you to pursue growth with confidence because your base remains secure. Strategic protection transforms your financial life from fragile to resilient. Each safeguard acts as a layer of security, ensuring that unexpected events do not erase your progress. Through planning, organization, discipline, and careful action, you build a system that supports stability for years to come. When assets are protected with wisdom, they continue serving their purpose. They provide security, support your ambitions, and create opportunities for further growth. This careful stewardship ensures that your efforts today will remain valuable tomorrow, allowing you to move forward with strength and confidence. Chapter 80. Multiply income streams by thinking creatively and acting boldly. Many people depend on a single source of income for most of their lives. They wake up, work hard, receive their paycheck, and repeat the same routine for years. While this path may provide stability for a period of time, it also creates vulnerability. When all financial security depends on one channel, any disruption can quickly affect the entire structure of a person's life. This is why the people who build lasting wealth rarely rely on only one income stream. They learn to expand their opportunities by thinking creatively and acting with courage. Multiplying income streams begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking how to earn slightly more from one job, a person begins asking how many different ways value can be created. This mindset transforms how you see the world. Problems become opportunities to solve. Skills become tools that can serve more than one purpose. Everyday experiences begin revealing ideas that could generate additional value. Creativity plays a major role in this process. Creative thinking does not require artistic talent. It simply requires curiosity and a willingness to see possibilities where others see routine. When you begin looking at your knowledge, your skills, and your interests with curiosity, new ideas naturally emerge. Perhaps a skill used at work could also be offered as a service outside your job. Perhaps a hobby could be turned into a product or teaching opportunity. Creative thinking expands the range of possibilities available to you. Acting boldly is the second part of this principle. Ideas alone do not create income. Action turns ideas into reality. Many people hesitate because they fear failure or judgment. They wait for perfect timing or perfect knowledge. Yet growth rarely happens under perfect conditions. Progress usually begins when someone takes a thoughtful step forward despite uncertainty. Bold action does not mean reckless behavior. It means having the courage to test new opportunities carefully and learn from each experience. A small project can grow into a powerful income source when it is developed with patience and persistence. Starting small allows you to learn the process while limiting risk. As confidence increases, your actions naturally become more strategic and effective. One powerful approach to expanding income is using your existing skills in new ways. Many people underestimate the value of what they already know. Skills developed through education, work, or personal interests can often serve more people than expected. Teaching, consulting, Writing or creating digital resources are examples of ways knowledge can reach a wider audience. When knowledge begins helping more people, income opportunities increase. Another path involves creating systems that continue producing value over time. Instead of exchanging hours only for immediate payment, systems allow your effort to continue generating results long after the initial work is completed. This could include developing products, building online platforms, or investing in projects that grow gradually. Systems require effort at the beginning, but they offer the possibility of income that is not limited by time alone. Investing is another important method for expanding financial streams. Thoughtful investments allow money to participate in growth alongside your personal effort. Whether through businesses, property, or financial markets, investments create opportunities for resources to increase in value. Careful research and disciplined decision-making ensure that investments support long-term stability rather than speculation. Collaboration also opens doors to additional income. When people with different strengths work together, they create possibilities that would be difficult to achieve alone. Partnerships allow individuals to combine knowledge, skills, and resources in ways that increase productivity. A collaborative project can introduce new markets, new ideas, and new sources of revenue. The process of multiplying income streams also requires strong time management. Since each opportunity demands attention, organizing your schedule becomes essential. Prioritizing tasks and eliminating distractions allows you to focus on activities that create real value. Efficient time management ensures that new projects strengthen your financial position without overwhelming your daily life. Learning from experience is another key factor in this journey. Not every idea will succeed immediately. Some attempts may produce smaller results than expected. Others may require adjustment before they begin working effectively. Each experience provides valuable information that improves future decisions. When you treat every project as a learning opportunity, setbacks become lessons rather than discouragement. Confidence grows gradually as you take consistent action. The first step often feels uncomfortable because it introduces unfamiliar challenges. However, each completed task builds belief in your ability to adapt and succeed. Over time, bold action becomes part of your character rather than something that feels intimidating. Discipline supports this growth by ensuring that creativity leads to results. New ideas can be exciting, but progress requires focus. Selecting a few strong opportunities and developing them carefully produces better outcomes than chasing too many projects at once. Discipline allows your creativity to work in an organized and productive way. Observation also strengthens creative thinking. When you pay attention to everyday situations, you begin noticing patterns and needs that others overlook. Businesses, services, and products exist because someone observed a problem and offered a solution. Developing the habit of observation helps you recognize similar opportunities in your own environment. Technology has expanded the number of possibilities available to individuals today. Digital platforms allow people to share knowledge, sell products, and reach global audiences. These tools create opportunities that previous generations could not easily access. Learning how to use technology effectively can open doors to income streams that operate beyond traditional limitations. Patience is important during the early stages of building multiple streams. New projects rarely produce large results immediately. They require nurturing and gradual improvement. Consistent attention allows small beginnings to grow into reliable sources of income over time. Patience keeps your motivation strong while progress unfolds. Resilience also supports this journey. Some ideas may require revision before they succeed. Markets may change, and strategies may need adjustment. A resilient mindset allows you to adapt without losing momentum. Each adjustment strengthens your understanding of how value is created. Another important habit is reinvesting part of your earnings into future opportunities. When additional income appears, using a portion of it to support new projects accelerates growth. Reinvestment turns success into momentum and expands your financial possibilities even further. Maintaining balance is equally important. Expanding income streams should enhance your life rather than create constant stress. Choose opportunities that align with your interests, strengths, and long-term goals. When projects reflect your genuine curiosity and purpose, the work becomes more meaningful and sustainable. Surrounding yourself with ambitious and supportive individuals also encourages bold action. Conversations with people who pursue growth often inspire new ideas and strengthen determination. Positive environments help maintain motivation when challenges arise. Gratitude strengthens this process as well. Appreciating every opportunity and every lesson encourages responsible decision-making. Gratitude reminds you that progress is built step by step through effort and patience. Over time, multiple income streams create flexibility and security. Instead of depending on one source, your financial structure becomes supported by several channels. When one area slows down, others continue providing support. This balance reduces stress and allows you to focus on growth with confidence. Thinking creatively and acting boldly transforms how you approach your financial future. It encourages you to see possibilities where others see limits. With curiosity, discipline, and consistent action, new opportunities begin appearing in places you once overlooked. Each stream you develop becomes another pillar supporting your independence. Each idea you explore increases your understanding of how value is created. Through creativity and courage, you build a financial life that is flexible, resilient, and capable of continuous expansion. Chapter 90. Commit to daily practices that compound wealth over time. Lasting wealth rarely appears through sudden events. It grows through consistent actions, repeated over long periods of time. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who build strong financial foundations is often found in their daily habits. Small actions performed regularly can shape powerful results. When a person commits to disciplined daily practices, financial progress becomes steady and reliable. Many people look for shortcuts because they believe wealth requires a dramatic breakthrough. In reality, the most dependable path is built on simple routines followed with patience. A single positive action may appear small on its own, yet when it is repeated every day it becomes a powerful force. Just as steady exercise strengthens the body over time, steady financial habits strengthen your economic position. Commitment is the foundation of these practices. A habit does not form through occasional effort. It forms through consistent repetition even when motivation feels low. When you commit to daily financial discipline, you remove the need to rely on temporary enthusiasm. The routine becomes part of your normal behavior, and progress continues without constant struggle. One of the most important daily practices is awareness of spending. Every purchase represents a choice about how resources are used. When people spend without attention, money flows away quickly and opportunities disappear. Developing the habit of observing your spending decisions creates control. You begin asking whether each expense truly supports your goals or simply satisfies a temporary impulse. Recording financial activity can strengthen this awareness. Taking a few minutes each day to review income and expenses builds clarity about your financial movement. Over time, patterns begin to appear. You see where money grows and where it disappears unnecessarily. This simple habit creates powerful insight and encourages better decisions. Saving regularly is another practice that compounds wealth over time. Waiting until the end of the month to save often leads to disappointment because unexpected expenses appear. A more reliable approach is setting aside a portion of income immediately. Even modest amounts accumulate when they are protected consistently. Saving becomes a habit rather than an occasional effort. Investing is closely connected to the habit of saving. While saving protects resources, investing allows those resources to grow. Making regular investments, even small ones, introduces the power of compounding. Over long periods, this steady growth becomes significant. The key is consistency rather than size. Regular contributions allow time to work in your favor. Learning also deserves a place in your daily routine. The financial world continues evolving, and knowledge allows you to adapt wisely. Spending time each day reading, studying, or listening to educational material strengthens your ability to make intelligent decisions. Knowledge protects you from costly mistakes and reveals opportunities that others may overlook. Planning your day with intention can improve financial productivity as well. Each morning offers a chance to focus on activities that create value. When you choose tasks that contribute to long-term growth, your daily energy becomes aligned with your goals. Instead of reacting to random demands, you guide your actions toward meaningful outcomes. Productivity habits strengthen this process. Completing important work before distractions appear ensures that progress happens every day. When people delay essential tasks, opportunities often remain unfinished. A simple routine of focused work sessions builds momentum and allows valuable projects to move forward steadily. Reflection is another powerful daily practice. Taking time to review your progress allows you to recognize improvements and identify areas needing attention. Reflection does not require long hours. A few quiet minutes can reveal whether your actions today supported your financial vision. This habit encourages adjustment and prevents small problems from becoming larger obstacles. Patience is essential when building wealth through daily practices. The results of consistent effort often appear gradually. At first, progress may feel slow. However, as time passes, the accumulated effect becomes visible. Small investments grow, skills improve, opportunities expand. What once seemed minor becomes meaningful. Discipline supports patience by ensuring that routines continue even when immediate results are not visible. Without discipline, people abandon habits too early. They expect quick rewards and lose interest when progress appears quiet. Discipline reminds you that every positive action strengthens the foundation of your future. Gratitude can also support financial discipline. When you appreciate what you already have, you become more thoughtful about how resources are used. Gratitude reduces the urge for unnecessary spending and encourages responsible management. It transforms financial decisions from emotional reactions into thoughtful choices. Health plays a role in financial success as well. Maintaining physical and mental energy allows you to perform work effectively and make clear decisions. Daily habits such as exercise, rest, and balanced nutrition support long-term productivity. A strong body and focused mind help sustain the discipline required for consistent financial growth. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can reinforce these practices. Conversations with individuals who value growth and responsibility often strengthen your own commitment. Shared ideas, encouragement, and constructive feedback create an environment where disciplined habits are respected and supported. Another helpful habit is setting small daily goals connected to larger objectives. Large ambitions can feel overwhelming if approached all at once. Breaking them into daily actions makes progress manageable. Each completed task becomes a step toward a larger achievement. Over time, these steps combine into meaningful advancement. Protecting time for personal development also contributes to long-term wealth. Skills, knowledge, and creativity increase your ability to create value in the marketplace. Investing time in learning new abilities expands your potential sources of income. This daily investment in yourself often produces some of the highest returns. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Occasional bursts of effort rarely produce lasting change. What truly matters is the steady rhythm of positive behavior repeated day after day. When financial habits become automatic, progress continues even during busy or challenging periods. The concept of compounding applies not only to money but also to behavior. Each disciplined action strengthens the next one. Each wise decision increases confidence. Gradually, your mindset shifts from seeking quick rewards to appreciating long-term growth. This transformation makes wealth building feel natural rather than forced. Challenges will appear during this journey. Unexpected expenses, market changes, or personal difficulties may interrupt progress temporarily. Daily practices provide stability during such times. Because the habits are already established, you can continue moving forward even when circumstances become difficult. Celebrating small victories can also strengthen commitment. Recognizing progress encourages motivation and reminds you that your effort is producing results. Each milestone reinforces the value of disciplined routines and builds confidence for future goals. Over months and years, the combined effect of these daily practices becomes remarkable. Savings accumulate, investments expand, skills improve, opportunities multiply, What began as simple habits gradually creates financial strength and independence. True wealth is not created through luck or dramatic events. It grows through consistent actions performed with patience and purpose. By committing to daily practices that support financial growth, you build a life guided by discipline and thoughtful decision-making. Every day offers a chance to strengthen your financial future. Each responsible choice becomes part of a larger pattern that shapes your destiny. When these choices are repeated with commitment, the power of compounding transforms small actions into extraordinary results over time. Chapter 10. Inspire others by modeling discipline, patience, and intelligent investing. True success becomes meaningful when it influences more than one life. Building wealth and discipline creates personal security, yet the highest form of achievement appears when others are inspired to improve their own lives. The way a person manages money, time, and decisions quietly teaches those who observe them. People often learn more from consistent behavior than from spoken advice. When you practice discipline, patience, and intelligent investing, you naturally become an example that encourages others to grow. Influence does not require fame or a large audience. It begins in everyday environments such as family, friends, and workplaces. The choices you make, the way you respond to challenges, and the habits you maintain create a silent message about responsibility and commitment. When others see a person handling money wisely and making thoughtful decisions, curiosity begins to grow. They begin asking questions and paying attention to the habits behind that progress. Modeling discipline is one of the strongest ways to inspire change. Discipline shows itself through consistent behavior. It appears when you control spending, follow long-term plans, and stay focused even when distractions appear. Many people struggle with discipline because it requires patience and effort. When they witness someone practicing it calmly and steadily, they realize that progress is possible. Your example demonstrates that responsible behavior can produce real results. Patience strengthens this influence even further. Modern life often encourages quick results and immediate rewards. Many individuals feel discouraged when progress does not appear instantly. However, when someone demonstrates patience while continuing to invest, learn, and grow, it shows a different path. Patience proves that meaningful success often requires time. By remaining calm and committed during slow periods, you teach others that steady effort creates lasting rewards. Intelligent investing also sends a powerful message. Investing wisely involves research, planning, and thoughtful decision-making. It requires the ability to evaluate opportunities and understand risk. When people see someone making careful investments instead of chasing quick profits, they recognize the value of strategy. Intelligent investing demonstrates that wealth can grow through knowledge and discipline rather than luck. The most effective inspiration often comes through quiet consistency rather than constant explanation. When others observe your habits over months and years, they begin noticing patterns. They see that responsible choices lead to stability and opportunity. This observation creates trust in your actions. People are more likely to follow an example they have seen working in real life. Sharing knowledge becomes meaningful when it comes from personal experience. When someone asks about your financial habits or decisions, honest explanations can guide them toward better choices. Instead of presenting yourself as an expert, speak with humility and clarity. Describe the steps you have taken, the mistakes you have corrected, and the lessons you have learned. This openness makes your guidance relatable and genuine. Encouragement also plays a role in inspiring others. Many individuals hesitate to improve their financial habits because they feel overwhelmed or uncertain. Simple words of encouragement can remind them that progress begins with small actions. When you support their efforts and recognize their improvements, you help build confidence that strengthens their commitment. Leading by example also requires integrity. Integrity means that your actions match the values you share with others. When people see consistency between words and behavior, trust grows naturally. Integrity ensures that your influence remains strong and credible. It shows that discipline and patience are not temporary choices, but permanent principles guiding your life. Financial responsibility within a family environment has a particularly powerful impact. Children and younger relatives often learn their earliest lessons about money by observing adults. When they see careful spending, thoughtful saving, and intelligent investing, they absorb those habits without formal instruction. Your daily choices can shape their understanding of responsibility for many years. Teaching through practical demonstration can be very effective. Showing how to create a simple budget, explaining how investments grow over time, or discussing the importance of saving regularly helps others understand financial principles clearly. Practical examples transform abstract ideas into understandable actions. Patience is essential when guiding others on their financial journey. Each person learns at a different pace. Some may adopt new habits quickly, while others require more time to change their thinking. Respecting this process encourages growth without pressure. Patience communicates that improvement is a gradual path rather than a race. Listening is another important part of inspiring others. When people feel heard and understood, they become more open to learning. Listening to their challenges and concerns allows you to offer guidance that truly addresses their situation. This approach strengthens relationships and makes your support more meaningful. Another powerful way to inspire is through generosities. Sharing knowledge, opportunities, and encouragement demonstrates that success is not limited to personal gain. Generosity builds a culture where people support each other's progress. When individuals see someone who has achieved stability still willing to help others, they recognize the deeper value of responsible success. Remaining humble also strengthens your influence. Humility reminds others that growth is an ongoing process. Even those who achieve financial stability continue learning and improving. By acknowledging your own learning journey, you create an atmosphere where others feel comfortable starting theirs. Consistency remains the foundation of this entire process. Inspiration grows stronger when people observe the same responsible behavior over long periods of time. Temporary enthusiasm may attract attention, but consistent discipline builds lasting respect. Your steady habits gradually create a reputation for reliability and wisdom. The impact of positive influence often extends further than expected. One person who improves their financial habits may inspire family members, friends, or co-workers to do the same. Over time, this chain reaction can affect entire communities. A simple example of disciplined living can create waves of improvement far beyond your immediate circle. Responsibility also increases as your influence grows. When others look to you for guidance, your actions carry greater significance. Maintaining careful decision-making and thoughtful investing ensures that your example remains strong. This responsibility encourages continued growth and reflection. Gratitude helps maintain balance during this journey. Recognizing the opportunities and lessons that shaped your progress keeps your attitude positive and grounded. Gratitude prevents arrogance and reminds you that success often results from many small efforts combined with supportive relationships. As time passes, you may notice that your influence encourages others to build their own stability. Watching people apply discipline, practice patience, and make intelligent financial choices becomes deeply rewarding. Their progress confirms that responsible habits can spread through simple example. The ultimate purpose of financial wisdom is not only personal security, but also the ability to contribute positively to the lives of others. When you demonstrate discipline in spending, patience in investing, and intelligence in decision-making, you show that financial responsibility can lead to freedom and opportunity. Your actions quietly communicate a powerful message that growth is possible for anyone willing to practice consistent habits. Each responsible decision becomes a lesson that others may follow. Through steady example and genuine encouragement, you help create a culture where wisdom, patience, and discipline guide the path toward lasting prosperity. In this way, the journey of building assets becomes more than a personal achievement. It becomes a source of inspiration that encourages others to believe in their ability to create a stronger future. When discipline, patience, and intelligent investing become visible through your daily life, your success naturally becomes a light that helps others move forward with confidence.